Hello everyone and welcome back to Eco Socialist. So in some of my last videos I sort of showed you a few low waste products that I thought would sort of help you not have to go to the shop as much, because it's essential that at the minute when we're sort of in this week where it's supposed to be the peak of this coronavirus here in the UK, it's even more important to take all the precautions that you can. I actually have a face mask on order because I can't get delivery slots, and some rubber gloves as well, just to make sure, because of shipping trends, sort of another safe layer on top of using my hand gel when I get out of the store. So anyway, yes, you can never be too careful. So anyway, I thought I'd go through some of the products that I'm using, some pros and cons that I found about them. So let's get into it. Right, now, dare we talk shampoo bars? Solid shampoo. It lasts a heck of a lot longer than your bottle shampoo. Therefore, you're going to have to go to a shop less often. Now, I've tried really cheaply bought online ones that ruined my hair badly. So I really would suggest finding a trusted brand name one, maybe sort of Lush, or the one that I'm using at the minute is a Faith in Nature one, which I was surprised that they actually did a sort of solid shampoo bar, to be honest. And it's worked better than sort of the cheap online ones, but it's cheaper than the Lush ones, even though I think the Lush ones have worked better on my hair. This one's a sort of good in between. I found it quite drying on my hair, so I have to use quite a heavy conditioner when I'm using it. But you can probably find a very moisturising sort of conditioner bar or an eco-friendly conditioner to use with it. But I would suggest sort of leaving the conditioner on in the shower while you wash your other body parts to give it a chance to really soak in. But that's this one. I'd also suggest going for the more moisturising one. I think we had a coconut one, which with hindsight I probably would have got instead of this one, but I ordered two of these by accident while I was browsing on Holland & Barrett. So that's what I've got now to use. So it just looks like one of their normal shampoo bars. It's plastic free, which is good, although I wish Holland & Barrett's packaging wasn't so over the top. This one's a new one. I've got my sort of used one in the shower, which I'm keeping in one of Lush's square metal tins. It smells lovely. It's a geranium and lavender, so it kind of got that sort of rose jam type smell to it, sort of Turkish delight type thing going on for it. So I really wish that it was more moisturising. But the conditioner that I use at the minute is a Beauty and Planet one. A bit dusty from being on my shelf. That's that one. And that's their shea butter and sandalwood, which works really well. I also have a conditioning bar from Lush as well, but I haven't found that is moisturising enough for my hair. So if I run out of this, I'll probably go onto the conditioning bar, but this is working for me at the minute. And the really great thing about this is that it's vegan, the bottles are made from 100% recycled plastic, the sandalwood in it is ethically sourced, and coconut oil in it is organic, and they only use plant-based detergents. No parabens, no silicons, and no colorants. All round goodness, like this brand. I'm beginning to buy more of this brand, to be honest, because it's a little bit more of an in-between affordable, yet the ingredients are sort of better sort of than the really cheap products. It's a good in-between price range, this one. Okay. What else have I got here? Yes, I showed you sort of the soap bars that I sort of use, and I talked to you a little bit about the trick about using soap bars for a week, rotating them, letting them dry out for a week so that they last longer. You also know that in a previous video I've told you that soap generally doesn't work for my eczema prone sensitive skin because it dries it out too much. So I have at the minute been using a combination of different like pump lotion dispensers next to my soap, because at the minute I'm sort of washing my hands a lot more often than just sort of after I've been to the loo. My hands needed a little bit more help, even though I usually moisturise in the morning before I go to work, and then in the evening just before I go to sleep, to sort of let my hands sort of recover from the day. I found that sort of having a little bit of a lotion next to the sink very helpful and soothing to my hands. So I had got this one. It's quite nice and moisturising, but it's a little bit expensive, so I probably wouldn't re-buy it again. But I really liked the Beauty Kitchen range, because you can actually return their bottles and they reuse them instead of you sort of recycling them or them being made out of recycled plastic. So it's really sort of buying into that circular economy, which I love, and their ingredients are gorgeous as well. And again, it's a vegan one, and yeah, this one's next to my sink at the minute, but when I've used this one up, I will be going on to another one by Love Beauty and Planet, which is a lovely argan oil and lavender. And this is actually a body lotion, so it's a bit thinner than sort of your hand cream, but I found that it's good enough for that sort of in between during the day sort of moisturiser, just to be sort of next to the sink, that's sort of convenient for after you've washed your hands. And because you've got clean hands before you're using the pump, and I always have a sort of clean round in the morning anyway, with my bathroom cleaner. The pump's clean and your hands just get moisturised, basically. Yeah, another nice product, and I'll probably be buying some more of theirs as we go along, and a nice big bottle as well. Now, as a cleanser at the minute, I am using another Beauty Kitchen one, which is their seahorse plankton one, which again is expensive, and I probably won't be sort of rebuying it again, just because my budget has shrunk considerably, and I generally need to make some cutbacks. But again, I don't compromise on skincare, so I will only cut back if I have a suitable alternative. And I do, which is a cleansing bar which I used to use, but I stopped using it because the bar was wrapped in plastic and I was cutting down on plastic, and I started to feel guilty about buying it even though my skin really liked it. So yeah, so after I've used this up, I'll be returning it to Holman Barrett, and they, I think, put 100 points on your card for returning it, so it is a bit like a deposit return scheme, and it's the same with all the Beauty Kitchen products that are in these bottles, which I think is awesome. So it's great if you have money to support that circular economy, and again, wonderful ingredients, well worth the money, but again, cutbacks, you know. So what I'm going to use after I've gone through that one as an alternative is something that I've used quite often in the past, and I actually came across by accident, and that is this, which is a Cedamed cleansing bar. It's completely soap free, and it's good for sensitive and problematic skin. It's also got vitamins and moisturising agents in, and I think amino acids. But the awesome thing about this is that it cleanses quite deeply, but your skin doesn't have that tight feeling afterwards. So and it doesn't mess up the acid mantle of the skin, because it matches the skin's natural pH, which isn't pH neutral like all these products want you to think that it is. The skin isn't pH neutral. It's got a pH of 5.5. Yeah. So this works really well. I've emailed the company because I can't find out whether or not this is vegan or not, but I did email saying I thought that it was wonderful that they now didn't have their bar wrapped in plastic, because that's what put me off buying it in the first place. But you know, can you let me know if your product is tested on animals or is vegan? I haven't got an email back yet, but then we're on lockdown, so might not be their priority right now. So I'll let you know if I do get an email back from these guys. But this is what I'm going to move on to, and it's available in your local Savers about $1.99, which is amazing because you can use it for both your face and your body. And yeah, it's really worked for me in the past, and it shrunk down the amount of bottles I had in my bathroom. So when I was living in temporary accommodation, this was my go-to affordable product when I was literally just living off of universal credit, and it really improved my skin quite a lot from using all those weird products that messed up the sort of oil balance, either stripping the oil off my face because I had spotty areas, or moisturising too much and me breaking out. This was amazing to just find that balance in one solid bar. But anyway, I'm going to move on. Something that I'm also using in the shower at the minute that I won't repurchase again is the Beauty Kitchen Citrus Burst. This does make my skin really tight, and I have to use a lot of moisturiser after I get out of the shower, but it smells like a real orange. It's not that synthetic orange. It's like when you're peeling a citrus fruit, and it's such an amazing smell that I wish my skin liked it a bit better. But I'm using it up and moisturising lots after I've used it. So if you don't have that problem, it smells amazing. So, and again, circular economy, great to support. Moisturisers. Right, again, I am at the minute trying out the Really Radiant moisturiser from the Beauty Kitchen Seahorse Plankton one. Not my favourite, to be honest, and I thought my skin would like it better than it does. I'm only using this one at night at the minute because it's a little bit too rich for my skin, to be honest. So yeah, won't be buying this again. It was a lot of money for my skin not to like it, but again, this is one of those ones where you can return the tub, get your deposit back. Didn't work for my skin, and there is stuff that will last a lot longer, which is better because you don't have to go to a shop. So before I got that, I used just a plain organic virgin cold pressed hemp seed oil, and that is absolutely amazing on the skin. So I got the whole this one there. What's this one? This one I got from Holland & Barrett, and it was a lot cheaper than that cream that I just showed you guys. And what I was doing was I was just decanting it into an old squeezy drop bottle and just damping my skin down and using 2 drops in the morning as a facial moisturiser, sort of making sure that the skin's wet so that you can actually sort of get the oil all over the place without being a greasy pot. And then in the evening, when you want something a little bit heavier and more nourishing, I just did an extra drop, same jazz, wet face. What's your uncle? Works, and it didn't make me spotty, my skin didn't react. Some people think that it's a little bit drying for the body. I don't personally, I'm not liking sort of using oils on my body because they're a little bit too greasy, and I like to get dressed straight after a shower, and you know, I don't like oils staining my clothes or the potential for oils staining my clothes. So this one, nice facial oil, great. And deodorant. I think while we're in lockdown, I think we need to really evaluate whether or not, might be a dirty word, but do we actually really need deodorant? I mean, I think in the lockdown, it was actually a really good opportunity to detox those sort of sweat glands under your arms that are having sort of issues dealing with all those chemicals that you're putting under there to block those sweat glands. So I don't think you really need to go out and buy deodorant. The only people that you're going to smell around is your family. And as long as you're showering, you know, I think you're all good. But one thing that I found is really great, and it lasts years. Not sort of, you know, month or maybe even a week if you use that much deodorant. I mean, some people are sweaty, some people kind of have overactive sweat glands, and it's kind of understandable that you would want to use some deodorant. So I'm not saying that sort of, you know, this is a one size fits all, but most of us really don't need to be using it as much. So anyway, I have a Salt of the Earth plastic free deodorant, and this is a deodorant. It's not an antiperspirant, so it will help you to stop smelling, and it's literally just a block of salt, and you'll wash your underarms with whatever cleanser you're using, and make sure they're damp, and use hot water so that your pores are open underneath your arms, and then sort of use this like you would a normal roll-on deodorant, sort of under your arms. You can even use it on your feet if you have particularly smelly feet. Ooh, pins and needles sitting on my floor. Yeah, that's great if you feel as though you need deodorant. And again, it's something you don't have to replace. Oh yeah, another tip is if you haven't sort of cut your nails short so that you can wash your hands properly, one thing that will be very useful to you at the minute would be a nail brush, because you get all sorts of germs stuck under your nails. And for once, I actually do have semi-long nails, so we have a nail brush and our kitchen sink, just to sort of, I feel sort of a little bit better of it helping things along. And yeah, pretty much get these anywhere, any size or shape sort of thing. Another thing that I am also using, which I think is a good way of staying out of the shops, is this, which is like a concentrated mouthwash. So I use an old sort of medicine cup. I think this is probably from an old night nurse bottle, but I tend to sort of keep hold of them because they've got nice little measurements on the side. So I'll fill that up to there with tepid water, not cold, basically, and I'll put about 10 to 5 drops of this stuff in here, and that'll do for a sort of mouthwash or a gargle. And this is a glass bottle as well, so it's sort of less plastic. This part will be recyclable. I'm not sure about the lid, it probably is recyclable once I sort of take the dropper thing off and separate them. But again, saves you a trip to the shop for mouthwash. Another way that you can actually do mouthwash is if you mix a little bit of either salt or bicarb. That can make up a very cheap mouthwash, but the salt and the bicarb, I think, aren't quite the right pH for your sort of mouth, so they can sort of mess up the sort of balance of stuff in your mouth. So as long as you don't use them sort of that often, they're okay, but if you use them sort of long term, I don't think they're particularly great. I mean, it's good to have a sort of gargle of salt water, and that can sort of help kill the bacteria at the back of your throat if you're feeling like you've got a sore throat, and that's one of your signs that you're beginning to get ill. Gargles with salt water can be really helpful for that. But anyway, moving on, I'm babbling again. Something else. Now, I've been using a Safe Razor for a little while. I say that sort of loosely because I avoid shaving my legs as much as possible because it aggravates my eczema. But when I do shave, I use a safety razor. This one is by Sharpie, and it's made in England, and the reason why I got this one is I like the little safety case it came with, because they are pretty sharp, and they stay pretty sharp for quite a while actually if you look after them. So it's just this, and it's got a blade both sides. Men and women can use them. They do take a little bit of getting used to. There is a learning curve. You have to sort of learn how to sort of angle them properly, and that's about it. And it's just really sort of very similar experience to just using a normal razor. You can use soap with them. Some people use coconut oil, but I think that can sort of block drains sometimes. So sort of any type of sort of shower gel, sort of anything to soak up whatever area you're doing is all good. Another thing that I like about these is that they are unisex. Now, usually, sort of women actually get charged twice as much for our lady razors, so this helps us avoid a bit of that pink tax. And the replacement blades are so thrifty to buy online. You can get sort of like the replacement blades for pennies almost. Yeah, thrifty, and if you really feel as though you need to sort of shave, even though you're not going out anywhere, this is a good long-term option. I know it's starting to get warmer, but I'll leave it as long as I can. Yeah. Oh, another thing that I'd like to mention is I started looking for eye creams and things, and I realised that I didn't actually really need an eye cream. And the one that I wanted, which was the seahorse plankton one, again was so expensive. It was eye-watering. So actually my stepsister found a comment on a zero waste site where I was asking for suggestions, and she messaged me saying, hey, I've been making this sort of like eye roll-on oil stuff for a couple of my colleagues at work. Do you want me to sort of make you up one, and I'll sort of give you £1 off what I was charging them? So I was like, no, I don't want any special family discount, you know. I kind of respect her sort of, you know, making something up like that. And she made me sort of up a, what she calls is a youthful glow, which is like for under your eyes. And it's a mixture of myrrh, frankincense, lavender and rosehip oil, which I think you can probably all get sort of like in the zero waste, well, low waste in glass and things, but sort of getting them all separately, the sort of essential oils are quite expensive, so I was quite happy to pay her for sort of like putting them together, and me just to have this little roll-on thing that I sort of roll on and then dab into my eyes, because you shouldn't drag because that skin is so delicate underneath your eyes. And yeah, I lovingly actually call all my lotions and potions all my natural preservatives. So I'll say to my partner, I'm just going to go and put on my natural preservatives before I go to bed. I'll be in a minute. And he's like, alright, you go do your thing, sort of thing. Oh, anyway, I've got off track again. But anyway, yeah. I'm trying to think whether there's any other ones that I can suggest to you. Not that I can think of. Oh, hairbrush wise. I know a lot of people kind of like promote sort of these wooden combs and these natural bristle hairbrushes, but I've always had a good old sturdy Denman hairbrush, which has never steered me wrong. It's never broken, and when it does start looking grotty, I can sort of take the bristles apart, give them a good wash, and shove them back in. These, as long as I don't lose them somewhere, last years, absolutely years, and I think they should almost be classed as a sustainable hairbrush because they last so long, and they, as far as I can tell, are not bad for your hair either, because a lot of the ones with the like knobbly bits on the ends, your hair will get sort of like tangled round the ends, and if they've got metal bristles, they'll scratch your head. These are kind of quite blunt, so they don't really scratch. But again, just nice to have a hairbrush that you can take apart and wash every part of it, and then put it back together again, and you're good to go. So yeah, sustainable-ish hairbrush, lasts a long time. I like just being able to buy something once and have it last me. I'm sure you guys can understand the thrifty eco sense of doing that as well. But I'm going to sort of end this video here because I think again I've gone on for a bit long. So just remember, we all deserve to live in an equal society, and we all deserve to be equally valued in that society, and our planet deserves to be equally valued as well. Something along those lines. I think I've changed that each video. I need to write that down. But you guys get my drift. We should all be equally valued, and in the current lockdown, I don't think all of us have been equally valued. Some employers have really shown themselves up, but yeah, keep safe, join a union, because, you know, there's strength in numbers.